Tony, you'd think I'd be professionally jealous of you getting to call Sting's last match, but
Uh,
I'm genuinely jealous of you getting to call. What was it, the record scratch or the what did PN News call it? The skipped record or whatever it
oh,
was from the top rope.
right. The fact that you remember the name of the movie, Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome to the program, Tony Khan.
yeah,
We're glad you can
exactly.
join us here.
Yeah.
I think everybody has a similar Tony Khan story. A friend of ours told me about the first time he met Tony, and he just rattled off all the specifics of the first time Tony saw him live. It was a non-televised event. It was a house show, and he remembered every minute of the match, what the entrance was, what the gear was, what the finish was.
Yeah.
And the guy was just sitting there in disbelief, like, how do you, because it's not like you could just go fire that up on a VHS or something and watch it. It was not televised, but
Yeah.
he remembered it all so well. I mean, I don't think everybody who listens knows that Tony Khan legit has like a photographic memory. It's pretty crazy.
It is.
I was a little worried when Ring of Honor shut down. I thought that'd be selfishly it'd be the end for me, and then I was a lot less worried when Tony bought it, and not even from my perspective, but just that it was in good hands. And when we met for the first time, and we were getting ready to do the first TV taping under his watch, he started asking me to reassure some of the creative decisions, and he started recalling Slim J, who's a great talent who's been around
Unbelievable. Yeah.
but beat for beat, match for match, matches that Slim J had in 2002, 2003, about Eli Isom, who's kind of a really good young under the radar talent that we had toward the end of the original Ring of Honor era, and just making sure that he got the stories right. And he was on point with everything, kind of like Miss Alexandra York is with that word processor that she's got in her hand there.
That's a brick, buddy.
That's
It is a paperweight these days.
This is back before she became, of course, Mrs. Dustin Runnels.
Yes, before she's Marlena, but man, she still looks like a star. I mean, whoever decided to put her on camera, it was a good call.
Thank you. Ole Anderson and I worked on that one. I mean, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Okay,
was that in the makeup chair, which you were ragging me about?
She was a makeup artist, absolutely. Yeah, Ian, I walk around the corner. Ian sitting in the makeup chair. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I learned it from you, Dad.
I learned it from watching you, okay? Hey, is this the best shape Bobby Eaton was ever in? Look at him.
He does look good, doesn't he?
So does Terry Taylor. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is.
I mean, I think this is the best Bobby ever looked. This is amazing.
Yeah. I think I should say, and I think it's probably well known by now, but little Miss Alexandra York and her ex-husband, Dustin, have now had a grandchild.
How about that?
Yeah, how about that? So that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Look at this.
What do you think of this version of Terry Taylor, Ian? Doing like a poor man's $1 Million Man gimmick to me.
It made it more interesting. I like the black hair. I like the. It reminds me of the kind of the villains, the neighbors from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That yuppie feel, and that vibe. So that was as a kid, that was easily translatable. As I shouldn't like this guy, not because he's rich, but because he's a jerk.
Yeah.
So that really went well for me, and I love Bobby. I mean, the first time I ever met Bobby, he came backstage to a Ring of Honor event in 2015, and he was asking to meet the Briscoes, and he wanted to go out of his way to tell Jay and Mark that he thought that they were the greatest tag team he'd ever seen, and this was 9 years ago, even before the rest of their legacy was written. And so just that, I got to witness that. I got to take Bobby over to meet Jay and Mark, and that was such a cool thing for me to witness, but to meet Bobby, and then for him to show his appreciation to Jay and Mark was really neat.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, he was a big fan. Wow, look at these snaps on these arm drags.
Sorry, I've lost my chihuahua here. You guys start.
No, we're enjoying the majestic work of the late great Bobby Eaton.
Oh. Now she used to use a word processor, but that looks like a straight up laptop here.
Yeah, that was a laptop.
But it's got to be the absolute shittiest laptop of all time. Can you imagine?
Dutch Mantel had a great idea that we never that we never. Of course, remember, this was around the era of the Desperados, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his idea was that we can. Hang on.
Hey, I'm looking up the fastest PC at the end of 1991.
Lois, are you there?
50 megahertz.
Yeah.
Geez, 50.
Could you?
I'll tell you that we have that kind of technology in calculators now. You know, they buy them at Staples.
I mean, can you imagine though, like comparing just the technology that's in your pocket right now for your cell phone compared to that big old 25-pound laptop? It's crazy.
I'm glad you clarified cell phone there, because all that talk earlier with the sponsor, and I was an award-winning sex educator, right? I don't know
Were
that
you?
I was. In fact, on my wall here, there's
award-winning.
Push your volume up, Tony.
Yeah, so under Moses Malone, my two big prized possessions, my Moses Malone Sports Illustrated blown up, and then that little tiny plaque. I won the President's Service Award at NYU for my sexual health advocacy as a peer educator. It's the highest student honor you can receive at NYU.
Well, congratulations. I had no idea we were hanging out with Dr. Ruth today.
Can you hear me now?
Way in the background, you're in a well.
That's impossible.
You did something when you were calling Lois.
Okay, let me try. How about this? Is that better?
Nope.
He's baby Jessica.
I didn't change anything. I promise you I didn't. Brother.
Maybe it's time for a little refresh Jones. We got a 15-minute Terry Taylor match right here in the middle of the pay-per-view. I don't know.
I remember enjoying this match a lot because throughout the year, both these guys were in the. Wow, look at that was a wrist lock arm drag. What was that from Bob? That was amazing. He's just moving.
What do you think of the ramp? I thought it was pretty cool during the cage match. We actually got to see underneath the ramp. I don't remember ever seeing that before, but
yeah.
What do you think of the ramp in WCW? Were you a fan?
I was. It made it different. It made it stand out on
Me
TV. It made the pay-per-views feel bigger because you'd go from Pro and Power Hour and you just kind of have the regular walkway, but you knew something was up when the ramp was up. And it was interesting too, because they would do the New Japan shows shortly after that, and the Tokyo Dome had the big ramp at the time.
Yes.
So it was cool to see, oh wow, it can be even bigger and cooler. But I loved the presentation. I loved later when Cactus and Max Payne and the Nasty Boys would really take advantage of the ramp outside.
Man, I can't believe Bobby's gone.
Yeah.
I would have really loved to have seen him get his shot or his spot in the WWE Hall of Fame before he left us.
Certainly deserves it. Wow, look at this.
Oh my,
jeez.
On the ramp. That's unbelievable, man.
He went the equivalent of probably 3/4 of across the ring and jumped over that ramp.
Did you guys see Bobby on the ramp?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you great, Daddy.
Yes, we had a dog here that
well, your internet's not playing fair anymore, Tony. You sound like Max Headroom.
It's gonna be shilling new Coke soon.
Yes, he is. That's exactly right. Let me mention our affiliate partnership with Fanatics. Maybe we can get Tony enough loot to upgrade to business internet.
I've got business internet, some bitch.
Well, maybe we can get enough money for Tony to pay the bill.